This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello, I'm Gamachisa Mandida, your presenter for this hour's news. Stay with us as we deliver the most recent stories and updates from throughout the African continent. President Julius Maada Bio has inaugurated Sierra Leone's first maternal center of excellence in Kono, marking a significant step toward reducing maternal and neonatal deaths across Africa. This cutting-edge facility, developed in collaboration with the International NGO Partners in Health (PIH) and named after the late Dr. Paul Farmer, a champion of health equity, embodies hope and progress for women and children in one of the country's most historically troubled regions, once known for the blood diamond trade. By increasing capacity from 48 to 120 beds and introducing Sierra Leone's first neonatal intensive care unit (NICU), the center aims to provide critical care to mothers and newborns, directly addressing preventable deaths. President Bio emphasized that this facility exemplifies his government's commitment to achieving zero preventable maternal fatalities and will serve as a training hub to develop a new generation of skilled Sierra Leonean health professionals. Moreover, the center will function as a national training hub for healthcare workers, including doctors, nurses, and midwives, in modern maternal and neonatal care. Strengthening the medical workforce in this way is essential for minimizing maternal and infant mortality across Africa, ultimately saving countless lives and fostering healthier communities. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has entered into a $12 billion agreement with the Sino-Congo Special Zone (SCSZ) consortium to develop the China-Congo Industrial City in Kinshasa, aiming to position the capital as a major industrial and economic hub in Central Africa. This ambitious project is expected to attract significant foreign direct investment, with plans to establish 1,200 factories that could generate approximately 150,000 direct and indirect jobs, thereby enhancing employment opportunities and uplifting local communities. As part of a broader $50 billion strategy to diversify the DRC's economy away from reliance on mineral exports, the initiative promotes sustainable industrial growth that can positively impact citizens' lives. The development, set to expand eastward into the Maluku area, will cover 75 square kilometers in its first phase and include incentives such as tax breaks and customs advantages to attract both domestic and international investors, especially in sectors like agribusiness, manufacturing, and processing. This project aligns with President Felix Tshisekedi's vision for sustainable economic development under the government's third strategic pillar, emphasizing economic reliance and inclusive growth. Although the project experienced delays due to complex negotiations, its successful implementation is poised to significantly boost foreign direct investment, stimulate economic activity, and improve living standards across the country.
This is Africa, the cradle of humanity, the frontier of the future, a land of visionaries, creators, and pioneers, a continent of unstoppable energy where innovation meets tradition, where voices rise, loud and fearless.
I am an African.
This is the heartbeat of 1 billion people, diverse, bold, united by a single purpose to tell our own stories in our own way. No borders, no barriers, no filters. A new era of African storytelling is here. From every corner of the continent, from the bustling cities to the quiet villages, we tell Africa's story by Africans for the world. This is the land of a rising Africa, where Africa speaks and the world listens. This is why today we bring you POA, Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
South Africa's Minister of Agriculture, John Steenhuisen, has commended Zimbabwe's decision to lift its ban on maize and grain imports, viewing it as a crucial step towards strengthening regional trade ties, economic integration and food security across Africa. This policy shift reflects Zimbabwe's renewed dedication to sound economic management and fostering greater cooperation within the region. Steenhuisen emphasized that open and predictable trade in agriculture commodities such as white maize, a staple across many African countries, is vital for stabilizing markets, reducing food shortages and promoting mutual economic growth. By facilitating the free flow of maize, the move will help stabilize prices, enhance cross-border trade and attract investment into the agricultural sector. He further pointed out that this decision aligns with the broader objectives of the Southern African Development Community, SADC, aimed at boosting intra-regional trade, food production and economic resilience in the face of recurring droughts and climate challenges. Strengthening trade connections like this is essential for fostering regional integration and building a more unified and self-sufficient Africa. Moving to Morocco, Morocco has officially ratified the United Nations Treaty on Cybercrime during an international conference in Hanoi, Vietnam, attended by representatives from over 60 countries and UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. Minister of Justice Abdulatif Koubi described this milestone as a historic moment and a symbolic achievement in the global effort to combat digital-era criminality. The treaty represents a significant step in strengthening international cooperation to address cyber crimes such as hacking, identity theft, ransomware, and online financial fraud issues that are increasingly threatening political, social, and economic stability across Africa. By ratifying this convention, Morocco aims to contribute to a unified global framework that enhances information sharing, capacity building, and coordinated law enforcement responses. Koubi emphasized that while the digital revolution has transformed daily life, it has also facilitated the rapid growth of transactional cyber criminal networks. This development underscores the urgent need for Africa to adopt comprehensive legal and technological measures to mitigate cyber threats and protect its digital infrastructure. Morocco's engagement with the treaty underscores its commitment to advancing digital security, governance and international legal cooperation in Africa. The treaty's implementation is expected to foster regional efforts to combat cyber crimes more effectively, ultimately helping to safeguard economic development and societal stability across the continent. Matthew Antonio Patrick Hermini was sworn in on Sunday as the 6th President of Seychelles, vowing to promote national unity and strengthen democratic governance. A former Speaker of Parliament and medical doctor, Hermini secured victory in the October 9 runoff election with 52.7% of the vote, defeating incumbent Wavel Ramkalawan, who garnered 47.3%. His election signifies a return to power for the United Seychelles Party after 4 years of governance by Ramkalawan's Seychelles Democratic Alliance, highlighting the dynamic nature of Seychelles' democratic process. The United Seychelles Party, formerly known as Parti Lepep, once dominated national politics for decades until Ramkalawan's historic win in 2020. Hermini's leadership underscores the importance of robust electoral processes and political renewal in fostering democratic stability. His victory offers an opportunity to reinforce fair and transparent elections across Africa, encouraging political accountability, inclusivity, and peaceful transitions of power as essential for strengthening democracy on the continent. Additionally, elections outcome emphasizes the need for political parties to adapt and contribute to national efforts addressing economic, social, and environmental challenges within a democratic framework. In a historic development, the Ghana Education Service (GEAS) has been instructed to prioritize the use of local Ghanaian languages as the primary medium of instruction in all schools, replacing English as the main language of teaching. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu announced this groundbreaking policy during the launch of the Free Tertiary Education for Persons with Disabilities initiative in Accra, stating to the GEAS Director General, "From today, the use of mother tongue instruction by teachers is not mandatory in all Ghanaian schools." This initiative is part of the government's broader Reset agenda, which aims to improve learning outcomes, strengthen cultural identity, and bridge language barriers within the education system. Minister Idrisu highlighted that many Ghanaian children grow up speaking languages such as Akan, Gaa, and Iwi, and they deserve to learn in the language they understand best. Proponents argue that this shift will enhance comprehension, boost student participation, and help reduce early school dropout rates. This marks a significant departure from Ghana's long-standing practice of primarily using English as the instructional language, despite the informal use of local languages at the primary education level. The successful implementation of this policy has the potential to transform educational landscape across Ghana. It also serves as a model for other African societies to promote the use of vernacular languages, thereby fostering cultural pride, improving literacy, and strengthening community engagement in education. Moving to business news, Malawian President Peter Mutharika has issued an executive order effective October 21st, 2025, banning the export of raw and processed minerals to strategically harness the country's mineral resources for sustainable development. This policy aims to stimulate economic growth by encouraging local processing and value addition, thereby transforming Malawi from a mere exporter of raw materials to a producer of finished mineral products. The order applies to all minerals mined in Malawi, including uranium, rare earth elements, niobium, graphite, tantalum, bauxite, coal, limestone, gemstone, heavy mineral sands, vermiculite, phosphate, pyrite, rutile, gold, and copper. Minerals that are processed or refined locally are exempt from the ban. President Mutharika emphasized that this approach is intended to foster industrialization, create jobs, and ensure that Malawi's mineral wealth directly contributes to national prosperity. The move also aims to attract investment in local mining and processing industries, reduce dependency on raw exports, and strengthen Malawi's position in the global mineral market. This policy underscores the importance of African nations to harness their natural resources effectively, promoting economic self-reliance and sustainable growth. By adding value locally, African countries can maximize benefits from their resource endowments, foster industrial development, and reduce capital flight, ultimately leading to diversified economies and increased resilience against global market fluctuations. Finally, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) reports that over $50 billion worth of cryptocurrency transactions flowed through Nigeria between July 2023 and June 2024. In a recent statement, SEC Director General Dr. Imamotimi Agama expressed concerns about the low level of participation in Nigeria's traditional capital markets. He revealed that less than 4% of the country's adult population actively invests in the formal capital market, a figure he describes as a significant obstacle to economic growth and capital formation. Despite this, over 60 million Nigerians engage daily in gambling activities, spending an estimated $5.5 million each day, which underscores the potential for redirecting such engagements towards productive investments. Agama also highlighted that Nigeria's market capitalization to gross domestic product (GDP) ratio is approximately 30%, starkly lower than South Africa's 320%. Malaysia's 123% and India's 92%. This disparity emphasizes the urgent need to deepen financial inclusion, build investor confidence, and develop a robust capital market infrastructure. The implications for Africa are clear. Harnessing the continent's vast population and financial resources requires strategies to boost participation in capital markets. By fostering inclusive financial systems, promoting investment literacy, and creating attractive opportunities, African nations can mobilize domestic savings, accelerate industrialization, and drive sustainable economic growth. Strengthening capital markets is essential for transforming raw resource wealth into long-term development capital, ultimately positioning Africa as a competitive player in global financial markets. Next, let's check the current weather forecast. Before we wrap up the news, let's remind you of the POA in-depth coverage that will follow it. Thank you for watching for now. Goodbye.